Let's save our part. Save. Day 7. And hit save. Okay. Now let's go to Sketch, Top Plane. And let's start with the rectangle. So go to Rectangle command. Now center rectangle. Drag. And let's add an equal relation. So let's go to the equal. Choose this one and this one. Okay, let's now add the dimension. 20 millimeters. Okay. Create another rectangle with R. Again, center rectangle. Restrict the vertex with the diagonal. Okay. Now add a dimension of 8 millimeters. Great. Now let's create a circle with C. And will be 4.2 millimeters. Now with line, let's create the following profile. The parallel restriction between these two lines. Okay, let's now add dimensions with D. 3 millimeters. Six millimeters. Okay. 2 millimeters for this one. And between these two lines, 0.75 millimeters. Okay. Now we have this section fully defined. Let's create a mirror. Select these lines. And the mirror line will be this one. And hit OK. Great. Now, in order to repeat this profile on all the corners, let's go to Create, Circular Pattern, select this one, and the other side too. Okay, center point, the origin, change to 4, and hit OK. Great, now we have our sketch complete. Let's now extrude, press E, and select all the profiles. 20 millimeters, and hit OK. Create a fillet with F, select these corners, one millimeter, and hit OK. Now go to Chamfer, select these edges, two millimeters, and hit OK. Great. Now, in order to parameterize this part, we need to go to Modify, change parameters, and let's create one. Don't show this message. Okay. Will be length, the first one. And for expression will be 20 millimeters, and hit OK. Let's create another one. This one will be radius, 1 millimeter, hit OK. And the final one will be chamfer, 2 millimeters, and hit OK. Okay, now we have the final parameters. We need to change the value on each operation and use the new parameters. So let's go to extrude. We have here the 20 millimeters, change by length. For fillet, we look for the radius. We change 1 by radius. Now let's go to Chamfer, and for the value we change to by the parameter chamfer. Okay. Now to use our parameters, we need to go to Modify, Change Parameters, and it's very simple. Just change the value. For the length, 50 millimeters, and it's automatically updated. Radius 2, chamfer 1. These parameters will allow you to have full control of your part without the need to change each value on the timeline or in the sketch. 100 millimeters. Okay. I will return the value to 20 millimeters. 1 and 2. Okay. If you want to create variations of this part, let's go to Bodies and rename this part to Custom 2020. Now let's modify our sketch. Let's suppose we want to create a 2040 profile. Let's select these lines, create, rectangular pattern. The axis is correct. Let's now change to 2 and the space 20 millimeters. And hit OK. Let's now with line close this part. Also this one. Perfect. Let's now finish the sketch. Hide this part. Now let's show the sketch. E to extrude. Select all the profiles except the ones in the middle. And you can assign the parameters also in here directly. Length. And hit OK. Now let's create a fillet, all the corners. And let's assign our parameter, which is radius. And hit OK. Now let's do the same for the chamfer. All these edges. Chamfer will be the parameter. And hit OK. So now we have our 2040 profile. So let's change the name. OK. And again, we can modify the part with our parameters. So let's go to change parameters. Let's assign some values. Okay, you can see how it's changed. And it's updated in real time, as you can see. Okay, so we have created our variation of the first part. This will allow you to change the length or any value you want to change and create some part libraries. So let's create one so you can see it. First, select the parts and let's change to components. Create components from bodies. Now that these parts are components, we have a new option. So right click and save copy. I will create a new folder for my aluminum profiles and save my custom 2020 in there. Let's save. Okay, let's do the same for the other part. I will center this part first with the origin. So let's go to modify, align, hover over the face, control, click this point. Now let's activate the origin. So go to origin, select the origin. Okay, now it's centered. Hit OK. Now let's save it. Let me hide the origin. Right click, save copy. custom 2040, and save. Now, as an important note, this new copy doesn't have the parameters, so if you open it, will not be able to change those parameters, so you always need to come back to the source files and do the changes and save in your library. Okay, so let's see an example of the usage of this library we have created. Let's drag these parts. Let's drag the second part. I will place it in a different position. I will rotate it a bit. Okay. For a quick assembly, let's go to Relations, Joint, hover over the face, Control, click on this point. Now hover over the face, Control, this point. I'll move it a little bit, 6 millimeters, and hit OK. Using your libraries will allow you to create complex structures in no time. The only thing you need to do is create more variations with different lengths and assemble them. Obviously, you can parameterize any part just for the sake of the design intent, and not necessarily for creating libraries. This is just an example of usage. Thanks for watching.